Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen podcast. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. I apologize for the background noise. I'm still at work, and the forklift driver is still going. So I'm just going to quickly make this episode, and it's about a gentleman who contacted me because the event happened. She's done the seduction process. She's now interested, and she's like, yes, let's do it. And this is after many years of not being able to connect without being intimacy. And from his words, he couldn't perform. Like, it just couldn't happen for him. And I felt so bad because I know what it feels like when you cannot perform. It's the most gut-wrenching scenario, like, especially when you have spent many years talking about it, you've had fights about it, you've given her all this grief in retaliation of the grief that she's giving you for not having sex. So you've gone over this process, and then all of a sudden you're now in the promised land, and then you can't do it. And I was devastated for him because he's such a nice guy. And I'm mentioning this because I'm not mentioning his name, so you would never know who he is. And so feel free to still DM me. I might make an episode of the conversation, but I would never mention a name. But I know that this is helpful for you guys. That's the reason why I'm making this episode, because the reason why he couldn't perform is because when you are within a seduction, it's all about transmitting your feelings. So you have to be feeling a certain way so that you can transmit those feelings. And then, so for excitement, curiosity, enjoyment, wanting to enjoy each other, exploration, there's all these things that you should be transmitting. And this what creates that excitement during the sex. But there's an issue. If you have had fights and 5 years of not having sex, then all of a sudden it happens, you're now in your mind thinking, I really want to prove to myself to this person so that they can never not want to have sex with me again. So I have to try and bring the best game ever, the best sex game ever. And then you're now trying to think of all the techniques that would make her happy, and then you're trying to please her, and part of it, instead of taking the lead, you're probably too submissive, and there's so many things that is going through your mind because you've got this opportunity and you're taking it as though it's one shot. And when you do, because you are within your brain and you're mentally engaged, usually that's when it sort of fizzles in, or can affect down there, so you won't be able to get an erection, because again you have to be able to flow with the emotions and really transmitting what you are feeling. So if you're feeling horny, you slowly build it up and you be transmitting those feelings. And this is something that I think is quite hard for people to get, because it sounds a bit woo-woo, but at the same time, after a ridiculous amount of interactions with women when I was growing up and being a pickup artist, that was the thing that made the difference. The fact that before we used to be logical, I need to say this line and then say that line and then move here and so on. And then it only came to us after many, many, many interactions, hundreds of interactions, that it isn't what you say, it's how you say it, the delivery, and that the emotions that you're feeling is what she's feeling. And therefore, within an opportunity where you're actually now having that sexual interaction, it's very, very important that you remain focused. And I know it will be very difficult, because after 5 years of not having sex, then all of a sudden you're about to have sex, it must be like quite overwhelming and quite like all of a sudden. So and I think you can be forgiven to really get carried away with it. But if it ever happened to you, I would slow things down. And to a certain extent, if it's all of a sudden, I would probably say, oh, I really want to right now, and this is something I really, really want to, but let's take it a bit slower. Let me rub your back. you rub my back. Let's not just rush into it. Let's work it so that if you're mentally going crazy, if you're rubbing it back, then you can slow your breathing down. You can start rubbing it back, and then you can start getting into a flow of things. And at that point, it starts working. So, I think this is one of the things that the moment that the green light was on, it was more of, let me get there as quick as possible before she goes amber and red. So that's the other bit that you just thinking that it's too good to be true. Let me get there before it gets shut. And this was one of the issues. So I think if that ever happens to you, where all of a sudden she's now interested, and I guess she will be interested because you'll be implementing the stuff I've been telling you. So you start implementing, and all of a sudden she's like, whoa, you're a bit different. You're behaving a bit different. I like it. And then all of a sudden you get the green light, slow it down. And I wish I had told him this, let's slow things down. And I'm telling you now, hopefully that when it's in your situation, slow it down, even if it means saying, you know what, you sit down, let me dance for you, whatever, make it funny, make it entertaining, because I think the most important thing, rather than the orgasm, it's the fact that you need to make it playful, fun, entertaining, so that it's now your thing, whether you come out dancing or doing something that is a little bit different, a little bit playful, a bit interactive. It's not, and again, at the end of the day, you're trying to get it to be an emotional connection. You want it to be really, really something that you can both enjoy. If you rush it, it might not come out. In fact, if you get an erection and then you rushed it and then it's over within a few seconds, again, it's just as horrible. So again, this is a very, very important thing to consider. And if you need some help to actually start getting the seduction going and getting her warmed up, you need to go to Thriving Tribesmen on Instagram, and you'll be able to find us, and you can DM us, and we'll be able to start walking you and giving you a game plan on how you can do it. In fact, we've got 4 spots open for a case study group. So if you want to join our case study group, it's going to be free. The actual program is going to cost over, it's going to be $2,997. So if you get in to this case study group, you won't pay a penny, but we'll take you through exactly what you'll be going through. The only caveat with it is that you have to give a testimonial. So you have to be prepared to give a testimonial. You don't have to show your face. You can write one. You don't have to we can make a video if you want to. It's up to you. But again, you don't have to show your face. You don't have to do any other thing that might stop you from joining us. So we've got 4 spots open. One was filled this morning, and I'm not sure they'll be, by the end of this weekend, I think they'll be all filled. So if you are listening to this, get onto the Instagram pretty quickly and join us. Otherwise, you'd have missed out. Probably next time when you want to join this, you have to pay £3,000. So thank you very much for listening. I'll be seeing you soon, guys. Take care.